Hello everyone, welcome back to Stretching for the Stiff. So today we're going to take a look at the inner thigh. So opening up the hips is so important because as we age, as we get older, we start to lose our hip mobility. And when we start to lose our hip mobility, it starts to put more and more pressure with the low back. So I see clinically all the time when people are having a problem with their hip, they also start to have problems with their back. Or when people start having problems with their back, they also start having problems with their hip. So I'm going to give you some really simple stretches to care for the inner thighs, this inner groin area. Okay, so the first one that we are going to do is you're just going to sit on the floor, and you're just going to, and you can also do this sitting in a chair as well. So you're going to take your leg and cross one over top of the other, just like that. So, and from here, you can bring your arms back and try to lift up the chest, like this. You can even prop yourself up against the wall, especially if you're really even just struggling to get into this position. Use the wall to help keep the back straight. Another technique I like to use because it really helps me pull in my abs is I thread this arm through and I grab hold of this leg and I lift up the chest. But if that's too much for you, you can bring the hands back and lift up from here or use the support of the wall, okay? And we're just gonna hang out there, lifting the chest. You can see this foot is active and you just wanna hang out in this position. You maybe wanna set a timer, see if you can tolerate 30 seconds, maybe work up to a minute, maybe eventually working up to 2 to 3 minutes per side. You don't have to do that on your first try, okay? And then we would just switch and do the other side. So coming into that figure 4 position, again, beginner, prop yourself up against the wall, or you can use your hands to try to lift up the chest. You want to keep the belly pulled in. If that's okay, you can use my thread through, where I grab hold of this, and then I lift up my chest from here, keeping this foot nice and active. So that's an easy stretch to really get into that groin area. Okay, another stretch we can do is if we let the legs splay out, feet together. This is a yoga position called Baddha Konasana. And from here, really trying to not stay rounded, right? But trying to keep the belly pulled in, but lifting through the chest. And if that's okay, even trying to bring the chest forward, but you want to try to keep the spine as long as you can. If it's too intense, you can bring the feet out a little bit so it's a little bit more accessible. You can get a little bit more deeper into the pose. So pulling the belly in, lifting the chest and trying to come forward. Try to keep your chest lifted, try to keep your chin forward. And this is another position that you just want to hang out. So maybe you try to hold it for 30 seconds, maybe a minute, maybe you work up to 2 to 3 minutes, okay? So this particular pose works what's called our short adductors in the inner groin area. So now we're going to move into the long adductors. So you want to take your legs apart and spread them apart as much as you can. Once again, if you look at my feet, they're nice and active. Of course, your legs don't have to be as wide as my arm, just go to your degree. You want to keep the feet active and you want to keep the sits bones rounded down. So how you're going to do that is you want to make sure they stay rounded and you want to make sure that you're pulling in the belly. And from here, keeping the belly pulled in, we're going to lift up through the chest and gently walk the hands forward just to your degree and just holding it there. And again, we're hanging out. You want to just set a timer for a minute, 2 minutes, eventually working up to 3 minutes, okay? And the goal is eventually to try to keep that length through the spine, but trying to get the chest towards the floor, okay? I'm gonna show you just one more exercise, and we are gonna use the wall. This is a great stretch. It feels amazing. And because of the position we're in, it actually puts a little bit of traction through the low back to really give us some relief if you're having any back pain as well. So you want to have a wall and you're going to slide your hips all the way against the wall. And from here, gently swing up. So your butt's right against the wall. And from here, you're gonna let the legs spread apart, just letting gravity take over. And from here, you wanna keep the feet flexed. You want to keep the legs engaged. Imagine taking your sits bones and your pubic bone and pushing it towards the wall. Keep the belly pulled in. And again, just set a timer here and see if you can tolerate a minute, or maybe 2 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes after a period of time. Don't try to do 3 minutes on your first try, but gradually try to hold it a little bit longer. Okay, to come down, you're just gonna come back to that center position and gently roll onto your side, and you can push yourself up from here. Okay, so that is some of the best stretches to work into the inner thigh. All right, I hope you found these stretches helpful.